Welcome back again, and today we will discuss teaching street directions and prepositions. Teaching directions may be easy or a little more difficult depending on the country you are in. Japan, Korea, and China have no street names. In Cambodia, since it was a French colony, it was much easier to teach. They only needed to learn the terms. The lack of street directions may cause a little confusion when you ask a student where they live. Teacher, where do you live? Student, in Ulsan. A city in Korea. While they are not trying to be smart, they are only telling you that they live in the city because they don't know the street's name they live on. Another problem is to ask students to explain how to get to their home from the school. One student told me like this. Go down this street, turn left, then turn right, then left again and you're at my home. While he may have been correct, the directions were really confusing. How to correct this problem is to draw several big squares with gaps, for streets, in a big square. Let the children know this is a city. You can name the city if you want to. Then tell the children that all streets have names. So ask the students what the names of the streets should be. In most Western countries, the streets are named after famous people. Some are named after famous places and others are named after plants or trees. In this example, I named several streets. The horizontal streets we will call 1st to 7th streets. Now you can have the students start naming businesses in the community they would like to see represented. This is a good practice to involve the students because they now have to think of names and types of businesses. This gives speaking and listening practice. To be a little funny, you can name one street after yourself and use capital letters that are oversized to get students talking. I told my students I was important, so the name of the street should be bigger. They should laugh. When you are done naming the businesses in the blocks, you now should have a big square with many different names written that would look something like this. With this example, you can show the three parts of an organized city: the residential, business areas, and downtown. The residential areas are the areas in a city where people live. The business district is where most business is conducted. Downtown is normally the area where business is conducted and few people live. When teaching this, you should know that in Japan, Korea, and China, along with a few countries in Africa, have neither street names nor districts. Businesses are located on street level and the homes are on the upper levels. Banks are also located in odd locations. You have to teach this way to teach how to give directions. The whiteboard will become your best friend while you teach this lesson. In this lesson, you can teach the following phrases. Around the corner. The high school is around the corner from the bank. In. Pablo lives in Jones Street. Note, Americans say on while British speakers say in. 1 block down. The movie theater is 1 block down from the arcade. On the corner of. The bank is on the corner of 2nd and Oak. Next to. The gym is next to the church. Behind. The bus station is behind River Hotel. In front of. The library is in front of the senior citizen home. Across the street from. The taxi stand is across the street from the airport. Turn left, right, at, go down Oak St. Turn left at the pawn shop and the arcade is 2 blocks. Down. Blocks. A block is a square piece of land with buildings. Each square here represents a block. Now you have to explain that each one of the lines between the squares are now streets and they all have names. The diagonal lines are listed above the diagram. The horizontal lines, while not named, are named aptly, 1st to 7th streets. Now give them explanations on where every place is, like explained in the above list of terms, then start to ask students to give you directions to go somewhere from a starting point. A good way of doing it is to ask a student to tell another student how to get to their home from the bus station. While the student is giving direction, with your hand follow the explanation to see if you actually get to the destination. Once they have satisfactorily shown you they understand, have them work in pairs in order to give directions to each other. Once they have done this and can do it with ease, have them now give directions to a business in the city they live in or to their home. One thing you can also do is actually draw the map of the city you live in with businesses' names. This will give the real effect to the students. Go down the street. Go past Nokia phone shop. Turn left at Lee's store. Walk down 3 blocks to the bookstore and go inside the door behind the shop. Go up the stairs to the 3rd floor. Turns left and go down the hall to number 15. The reason you may want to do this is because the streets have no names, so you will need a marker to show where to turn. The buildings and stores serve as the markers. This will help the students be able to give directions and using the new vocabulary they learned in class. Remember that Asian students need visuals to understand directions. The pictures you use on the whiteboard will give them the visuals they need to understand the lessons. That is all the time we have for today. I hope to see you again next time.